Have you ever gotten a Snapchat from a girl?
No, but I got this. Oh, there is another box inside of the box. Oh, wow. Oh no. His head is loose. And the bike is gigantic. In every way other than the paint job, these two are identical. And just like this one doesn't have eyes either. There are sculpted eyes, but not painted eyes. And just like every other Player Sky figure I've ever gotten straight out of the box, they're all kind of crooked and you have to work with them for a bit to make them stand up straight. And the weapons as well does seem to be identical. I think there's like a tiny variation in the brown color, but that's just, you know, typical variation for the same item anyway. Another thing that sort of stands out to me that I've never thought about before is the fact that these guys apparently don't have any bare skin on their arms. But the thing that really stands out with this figure is all the patterns they have on the shoulder armor and the helmets. Like that, it looks so cool. It's so well done. But I would say the same for this. These look great on this guy. The metallic color they have used looks awesome. It's not just white, it's like a metallic white. And the same with this. This is, relatively speaking, it's almost black in comparison. And every color on this guy is really dark and he looks super cool. I'm sure some people would be upset by the fact that these figures are identical, but I actually don't mind because they are identical in the game as well. So you can argue that they are just game accurate. And I actually wouldn't mind if they released all the variations of the security officers. There's so many cool ones. Ever since I've gotten this one, I've been playing Remake and looking at all the different variations, thinking, wow, that one looks cool, that one looks cool, I want that one, that one, that one, you know? So I actually hope they continue this. And the funny thing is, I've been playing the Nibelheim demo for Rebirth, and immediately we see both of these guys in the intro of Rebirth. So that's pretty cool. Like, these two are still relevant, along with the bike that we're gonna take a look at very soon. I don't know why I got like a RoboCop feeling. I guess it's the way he's holding the gun up like this and the fact that we can only see his mouth, we can't really see his eyes. And they look so great together as well. Wow. Oh. Okay, I think it's time to see if I can even fit the bike on this table. Okay, now look how freaking huge this thing is. Oh my god. Whoa. This is amazing. This is sort of a, it's not a soft plastic, but it wasn't as hard as I expected it to be. When I picked it up out of the packaging, it almost felt like I was picking up one of those huge water guns, like a huge blaster or something. So it is mainly plastic, but it's not light. It does have some heft to it, and it's not super fragile either. One thing that I noticed immediately that was made of metal was actually the thing that holds it up. Like these things, they are cold to the touch and I can feel that they're metal. So that's a good thing. So it stands super well. Like even on this janky little table that I have here, see how much they shake when I do this? But this thing is standing strong. This looks amazing and I cannot wait to display this and look at it every day. It's so huge, I can't even, how, it's so long that it's hard to turn around. The paint job on this, it's a subtle thing, it's not much. It's a silver gray where it sort of fades over to more like a bronze type of color. So it looks like it's been used and there's heat transferring in between all these panels that looks like dust has settled there. It's very, very subtle, it's not over the top. I think this has been done better than the Hardy Daytona Play Sky in every way. I think this is actually bigger, maybe not heavier. I think they're about the same, but this feels more sturdy. Like I can shake it like this and nothing's happening, you know? That to me is one of the more important things. Like I can let people pick things up and I'm not gonna be worried that it's gonna fall apart just by touching it, you know? The underside is not super exciting and this is where you can plug in the base because I think this bike can be standing like on one wheel. Like that. That kind of explains why it's so relatively sturdy and relatively light as well, because it's made to be displayed like that. So, you know, it all makes sense when you think about it. I think I could go on and on and on and on and notice new things. You see it goes straight through there. There's like an opening. All right, I think it's time to place all this in my collection. Okay, before I do a size comparison in just 1 second, I did want to point out something that I noticed in between recordings. And that is that on this side of the bike, the Shinra logo on the engine is upside down. Normally, that wouldn't really bother me because, you know, as a collector, I want to have the item the way that it was sold, the way that it was released, because it sort of tells a story. Like if there is some sort of problem with the quality control on this one figure or whatever, I want to have that piece to tell that story, you know? But for something like this, a really expensive piece that only crazy super fanatics like myself are gonna get, I mean, it just rubs me the wrong way that such a mistake can happen on such an expensive piece that was delayed many times, in fact. So it's kind of like, where's the excuse for that? Luckily, I have decided to display it this way anyways, sort of independent of that, so it's not a huge problem. And here it does have the logo the right way. And look at that. These two pieces of paper here marks the edges of its size from the front, you know? I'm now gonna do a jump cut from this bike to the Playarks Hardy Daytona. Remember, this is the edge of the other bike. Wow, there's a lot of material that's sort of missing. Okay, let's go to Jesse's bike. Okay, that's a bit better. It's at least the Playarks Kai scale, but still, you know, a lot shorter. Now let's go to the Playarks Kai of the Hardy Daytona. And maybe now you see what I mean by how it feels smaller, because it technically, if I hold the edges of the paper, it is smaller. Like we're talking at least 1 centimeter on each side, if not more. And also there's like material missing here and here where there isn't on the other bike. But I do think this one is taller and probably has a bit more, you know, detail on the surface here. It's also heavier, but the downside to that is you actually can't really lift it with one hand, so you actually have to use both hands and lift it almost like a cat. Let's do a jump cut from this to the one we're looking at today. I think it is bigger in every way. And if you don't have any of those bikes and you're still confused about the size of this thing, this is the same size as a credit card. And you can look at this part of the engine right here. It's almost the same size as that. You see, the credit card is a bit bigger, but it's almost the same size. Okay, so this is gonna be where I'm placing it. Something like that in the middle. And this one goes here like that. I'm gonna be unboxing Roach and his bike probably as soon as this video is out. So that video will be coming out hopefully soon-ish. And then I'm probably gonna place the red bike in the middle and have the two green on either side. And this one is gonna be placed, you know, somewhere down there. But until then, I'm gonna keep it like this. Okay, it's time to place the security officer. And here we are back at the Shinra section of the collection. And I've been thinking about this for a long time, so this one goes pretty simply like that. And I'm gonna adjust this hopefully soon whenever I get Roach in here as well. He's gonna be standing like in the middle there, and then I'm gonna push these out to the side a bit. And then I think Roach's bike is gonna fit pretty good up here, and then this green one is gonna be standing down here. I'm gonna talk more about that whenever I get Roach out here, but you know, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Hopefully, you'll be able to see that soon.